The EWR team is in Cambridge today at the Graduate Hotel talking to local people about the plans for East West Rail and answering questions. Today we've rounded up the top questions that we've been asked and we're answering them here for you.
Question 1. Your own report says it's cheaper to take the northern route into Cambridge. So why have you chosen the southern route?
Yes, our report does say that a route that approaches Cambridge from the north could potentially be cheaper than a route approaching Cambridge from the south, but cheaper doesn't always mean better, and in this case it doesn't. The value that can be created by going into the south of Cambridge far surpasses the value that can be gained by going into the north. The southern approach is much preferred by us because it gives direct access to the Cambridge Biomedical campus, which is really important regionally and nationally as well. Going into the Cambridge Biomedical campus gives us access to 3 times as many jobs within a 15-minute walking distance from the station as the equivalent station in the north would be able to deliver, just really meaning that we're supporting economic prosperity for the city of Cambridge and for the region as a whole.
Following the 2021 consultation, did you properly reassess both the northern and the southern routes into Cambridge?
Yes, absolutely. Going into the 2021 consultation, we had a preference for a southern route into Cambridge, but we did ask people for their views on a northern approach because we knew that was something people were interested in. People did give us their views, they gave us some information that we looked into, and we really did look at that and we really did reassess the northern approach. You can look in our economic and technical report and also in the route update report to see exactly how we went about that and why we have again come to the conclusion that approaching Cambridge from the south remains the preference. There are a number of economic benefits to coming through the south that you simply just don't get the same opportunities if you approach from the north. So as things stand, the southern approach to Cambridge remains our preference. We are preparing at the moment to have a statutory consultation in the first half of next year, and we would urge anyone that, having read our reports, if there's information that we've missed, if there are things that we haven't taken account of, please do let us know, and we'll look into those as well.
Question 3. Why is the Cambridge Biomedical campus so central to East West Rail's plans?
The Cambridge Biomedical Campus is a world-renowned centre for medical innovation. It supports £2.2 billion of gross value added across the UK economy every year, and it also supports 15,000 jobs in the wider Cambridge area. The Cambridge Biomedical Campus is only accessible to East West Rail through a southern approach into Cambridge, and it's one of the really key reasons why we think that approaching Cambridge from the south is the right thing to do.
Question 4. Aside from the biomedical campus, what benefits does East West Rail bring to the wider city of Cambridge?
Cambridge is a beautiful city with an extraordinary history, and it really does have so much to offer, but it's being really let down at the moment by a lack of public transport. Constraints to economic growth are really significant in Cambridge, which suffers from high property prices and a lack of appropriate commercial space and skill shortages at all levels within the labour market. We explain in a bit more detail in our economic and technical report that forecasts predict that 80,000 new jobs can be created in Cambridge by 2050, but that this growth is constrained by the existing transport network, especially to the west of the city, which is preventing people from taking advantage of those new opportunities.
And finally, question 5. How long would a direct train from Cambridge to Oxford actually take?
This is a really great question. I'm going to talk a little bit about the journey times between Oxford and Cambridge, but I will say, of course, that's the extreme ends of the route. We've got another video on our website that shows journey times, particularly around Bedford and Camborne as well, if you want to have a look at those. But we have been asked today by people visiting this event in Cambridge about the whole route time, so I'm really happy to answer that. The route time to get from Oxford to Cambridge or vice versa would be around 95 minutes, so that's just over an hour and a half. By way of comparison, I've just looked up on my phone now what that would be at 6:30 on a Monday night by some other modes of transport. You could drive that in 2 hours and 2 minutes, so you're adding half an hour to your journey, and then obviously you're looking for parking and whatnot. You could do that by train, that's going in to London, crossing on the tube and then coming back out again. That would take you 2 hours and 28 minutes, so about an hour longer. Or you could do that by bus, which you would have to change at Bedford, and that would take you 5 hours and 4 minutes. So I think you can see just from those timings how taking just over an hour and a half to get between the two cities would really be a benefit and add a fantastic extra option for people wanting to travel around the region.
And if there's a question that you'd like answered, it may have already been covered in some of the existing videos which are now available on our website. Here you can also find a range of fact sheets explaining East West Rail's plans to connect the region. But if you have any further questions that you can't find answers to, you can always email us, contact@eastwestrail.co.uk.